InshaAllah. What we have from SMC family inshaAllah. Also the people are making wonderful images and pictures, and I think once somebody makes an image 10 people copy. If we can have the images always the shaykh with a lots of men. Lately there's a theme of shaykh with all kids, and the shaykh has nothing to do with kids. The shaykh is dealing with men and nice bearded Naqshbandi men. This is a way of men and Rijalullah, not the shaykh with children. So there's abundant pictures of shaykh with children where we don't deal with children. So it gives off the wrong impression to people whom are trying to come to our way, that this is a way of rijal, this is a way of chivalry, this is a way of knighthood in which to make men into chivalrous characters and servants of Allah inshaAllah. Because one nice one come and then 50 people copying, and then it becomes something different. And also the image to be from the Sunni shaykhs, the turbans to have the tail and the meem, and not to look like Sikh and other religions, not to confuse people. Naqshbandi shaykhs, the moustache is not allowed to be long, it has to be a trimmed moustache. So everything that you see in your shaykh, your AI images should match. So when you have a shaykh you don't make an image of something else. You follow the example of the shaykh and say, this is the following, this is the example of the sunnah inshaAllah. Thank you. What do we got from people online inshaAllah?
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, regarding your recent talk about the Prophets being black or dark skinned, an overwhelming amount of people are saying thank you for speaking the truth. And another question came up was, why is the Vatican silent on this matter?
That in a world based on falsehood, when you read Qur'an and Allah saying, this creation is created in truth, truth, truth. People would wonder, why Allah mentioning so much about truth? Well, because they didn't know everything was false. So last days 90% of what you hear, what you see, what you read and what you think you know, you have to unknow. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. None of it is true, none of them are true, none of their belief are true, none of what they say is true. So that as the earth crumbles, its falsehood is shattering. So the same people who brought you that whiteness and the same people whom wear their sparkly red shoes and gold chains and brooches is all false. If they didn't tell you the truth, they don't have the truth, and you can't wrap falsehood around truth. And that's why Islam is a religion of truth, there's no falsehood around it. We don't fake something and say inside it will be true. So Allah in last days makes every falsehood to be self-evident. You don't need much evidence. So when you go to them and say, are they false? Say, I don't need to tell you if they're false. Why don't you look at everything they said and look now how it's a lie. The images they said were lies, the books they compiled were lies, they left out the books that had all the details. So We said before, there is no religion on this earth except Islam. The deen of Allah is Islam and submission to Divine Will. All of them have shown themselves in falsehood. So the ones whom angered Allah, you can see why Allah's angered by them, they're slaughtering people as if you're killing mosquitoes. And the one whom went astray, we understand why they went astray, because they're waiting for a man to be God. And they even use all the wrong images because of their have a self-complex, and their understanding of the dunya is that white should be supreme and that the white rule the earth. We've talked before that their map is a manipulation. Kaaba is on top, Africa is on top. Remember, something that's a sphere, they turn the globe the way they want so that they appear on top. The reality is flip that globe again because the Kaaba is on top, they're on the bottom. Africa's on top, they're on the bottom. It's a circle. So they made it to appear and put it on their media and put it everywhere, and they produced all of the maps and globes, but it's all wrong, it's all false. None of the countries are true, none of them are actually to their own if you study the globe and the map, none of them are particular to their size. They show the white European race as huge continents when they're very minute, because they're threatened by the African continent, and the reality which is the belt of civilization is coming from these regions, from Mecca, Medina, Middle East, Africa, all of that. So because of the white understanding that they were the supreme race, their globes are incorrect, their teachings are incorrect, their history is his story. So all of these falsehoods in the last days, no doubt everything false always perishes, zahuqan. All they need is one person of authority comes and talks about it, and then the chisel begins. So kalam al-awliya and the talk of awliya, they're like a metal with a hammer to a glass. As soon as they talk, there is a permission to hit the glass. Now the cracks have come out, and it's just a matter of time before they push it and everything comes tumbling down. So every talk that they are given permission to bring out a reality, those will create a crack within their illusion of dunya, until the illusion of dunya collapses and all that's true that was hidden behind it should show itself. Because Allah's kingdom is coming, so it's not going to be with falsehood. The truth will be known and the false is false. And when people finally realize how much they've been deceived and how much Islam is pure. So you sit on something that's complete lies, and then you look to the other people whom are fasting and doing everything in this dunya according to heaven's realities, you say, okay, this is the religion of God. Not this ridiculous group of people, not even telling the truth of their Prophet, the colour of their Prophet, running after eggs and following Coca-Cola for their holidays. None of it is true, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, what is the reality of Sayyidina Ali's shahadat on the 21st of Ramadan? How to observe? Please guide for adab.
Yeah, shahadat of Imam Ali then is a night in which immense blessings, and these are the beginning of power oceans. So many realities for everything, but Imam Ali represents an immense reality of the oceans of power that Allah wanted us to have these nights, and the reality of 21 and the reality of Imam Ali and the oceans of power, to be dressed by it, blessed by it, and to remember how much the love of Ahlul Bayt and the love of the holy companions, and how much the world doesn't want that, and how much they try to extinguish that blessing and that reality. and they tried to take him off this earth and they could not achieve that. So the tariqas and awliyaullah say that as he was stabbed he was put upon a camel and he said that, "Just put me on my camel and send me to the desert." And when he was put upon the camel and sent out into the desert, the caravan arriving, when they arrived they said, "We put Imam Ali was stabbed and he had passed away, we put him on the camel, did you see the camel go?" Said, "Yes, but he wasn't passed away, he was waving at us and riding." So alhamdulillah that from what we described before, there are 4 Prophets on this earth alive right now, and this is accepted in Sharia. And there are Rijalullah and saintly souls that Allah has alive upon this earth. So one of them Sayyidina Imam that is alive and is veiled from people, but not veiled from people whom love him and respect him. And as a result of him being alive and being present with his nation, to safeguard and overlook the nation and send support. And that's why the love of Imam is so important, and we are people whom believe we should show that love. Others want to keep their love hidden, that's for them, but we want to be the people whom are faith in action. And the sijil that we have and the huma, the bird that we have is huma rahmah, that we have in the nasheed that Ali is the huma rahmah. Imam Ali is Allah's phoenix of mercy, in which to bring destruction upon shaitan and rahmah upon the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad. So alhamdulillah, for all whom love and respect and admire Imam Ali then inshaAllah Allah keep us under his holy nazar and holy support inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Looks like you already answered the question. With recent revelations about Prophets being dark skinned, does this mean that the dark skinned people will reclaim their nobility?
I don't know if they claim their nobility, because every rahmah and every mercy doesn't get the recognition it's worth in this dunya. Where Prophet described the worst of people would become honoured on this earth and the best of people would become dishonoured or disgraced by the earthly people in the last days. And this is what we see. See, the worst of people are given recognition and the best of people are cast down and talked bad about. So honour is always from Allah, but what's important is the truth, because the truth sets people free. The truth, it distinguishes a falsehood. What's important is the mirror of these different faiths, they're cracking. And their people in their aisles and sitting in those places of worship should think that they lied to me and it was all a lie. So then why are you sitting with liars? If they lied to you about that, what did you think they told you any truth about? And that's the main thing, is that if you choose to follow deception, that's between you and Allah. And don't think that you walk on the Day of Judgment and say, "I didn't know." Allah says, "No, you knew." They revealed everything. They revealed how all of it was false, this was false, that was false. You chose to sit with falsehood. So these are also importance, that when the day is coming and we say the day is over, when the day is becoming over, then the signs have to come so people cannot claim, "I did not know." So you come to the truth, you come to the religion in which doesn't lie to its people. That is a religion based on truth. We raise the children with truth. We don't hide and lie about this, we don't put pumpkins and say this is candy, we don't chase rabbits and eggs, and we don't follow Coca-Cola logos, and we don't do all these things and say, no, in the end it's okay. Because anything you raise on falsehood becomes corrupt and crooked. So all the children and upbringing and all the people will become corrupted. How can you then have a true God and true belief with corrupted teachings? So Islam comes as something pure, be pure, pure. Islam is pure, the people know. If they want to be gangsters, that's not Islam. If they want to be thugs, that's not Islam. The religion is pure, and we hope that the people who accept the religion and the pure religion of the Divine, that they make themselves pure. So they have to come to tariqas, not to the park yelling and screaming. So these are all the signs of the last days, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, from your teachings, all the maqams of awliya are considered holy because they have attained their Muhammadan reality. Is this true for the pious individuals of other religions as well?
We don't know who's pious and did they achieve the piety of their faith based on true. So that's not a true statement, because you're claiming somebody's pious and you claim they're from a different religion, and we're telling you that in a corrupted faith how to achieve piety. Or is it self-perceived piety? So if all the popes knew the truth and they lied, which one of them died in piety? People who lied knowing the truth? Then they say, oh this lady was feeding people and children and doing all sorts of wonderful things and she died a saint. She was trafficking children. The lady in India, we don't have to mention names. And they say she's a saint. She was trafficking little children in India. So that's not a saint. And they were going to the Muslim children and saying that you can only eat this rice if you put this wooden cross upon you. You think somebody dies like that in piety? When Allah comes, you came against my beloved faith and you wouldn't give them food until they put this falsehood on their neck? So perceived piety, then that's Allah's judgment. So I wouldn't make a statement that, do pious people also have this, because we don't know who's pious. If they were truly pious and they truly worshipped Allah and their actions and deeds match that, then Allah judges His servants, not us. But when we're saying that all these falsehoods and these were the leaders of these falsehoods, then I would stick to going to Muslim maqams, in which this is the deen of Allah, this is the piety of Allah. They follow the commands of Prophet and the laws of Sayyidina Muhammad. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, which sins bring evilness into the heart?
Which sins?
Which type of sins will…
Sit here and you want me to mention sins? Anything that you bring into your heart means that it's entering now your heart. When you have a bad intention, when you have an intention to hurt somebody, when the anger is entering and becoming hatred within the heart. So I hate this person, I hate this. Means now you've gone from dislike and uncomfortable with something to allowing hate to enter into the heart. Then any sin that done in a state of hate becomes very dangerous. And this was an example when Imam Ali was fighting. When he was fighting in Allah's way, he has no hatred for who he's fighting, he's just defending the messenger of Allah, that he has a message, he has to deliver the message. Anyone who stops the postman right now on dunya, it's a federal offence. Why? Why did they make the post federal? You know, if you touch somebody's mailbox it's a federal offence, not a state offence. They placed a great importance on the delivering of mail. What do you think then the delivering of God's mail and Allah's message? Nobody can stop when there's a messenger on earth and there are no more, but when Sayyidina Muhammad comes upon the earth to deliver the message of Allah, absolutely no one has the right to stop that message. Holy companions then had every responsibility to make sure the message is delivered. So when they fought with that understanding. When somebody spit into Imam Ali's face, he immediately put the sword down and said, before when I fought you it was the obligation, but now that you spit at me I'm concerned in my heart that if I do strike you with the sword will it be because I dislike you. So I have to stop where I am. I mean these are the amazing men of chivalry. Nowadays people dislike, don't like, who likes, they swing and they don't care and think a second thought about it. But they are the leaders of righteousness and that's the example and the exemplars of faith that they give to us, that always be careful. And the actions that you do, the anger that you have, don't let hatred enter into your action or now it becomes something punishable by Allah. Before if you didn't want to do something then you felt uncomfortable, you don't do it. But if you do it out of hatred and you act out of hatred and rancor and different characteristics within the heart, that's then greatly disliked and then the person will allow hatred to overrule them and become very dangerous people. So everything sinful you do, okay, you say sorry and you ask for forgiveness. But if a hatred begins to enter into the heart and purpose that you intend to harm somebody, you intending to derail and to lie to somebody with a bad heart, then everything becomes very bad for the heart and for the faith. And we are asking for nothing but Allah to enter into the heart and our heart to be clean like the Kaaba. So how could we bring evilness into the heart, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, can men do itikaf in the house or they have to sit in the masjid?
No, your masjid is your heart. Why would you have to sit in a masjid? Your masjid is your heart. Make a place in your home and make your itikaf if that's what you want to do. And the rules for itikaf that there's no relations with family members, no relations between spouses, and you try your best to do that time for meditation, tafakkur, contemplation, inshaAllah. And if you can do partial itikaf, that you come from work and from Salatul Maghrib you do some time to do your khalwa and isolate. Whatever people can do if that's the intention that they want. And I think we have the awrad and the wazifa online. It has the image of a heart with chains on it and in there has some the wazifas for itikaf, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, you mentioned that the petroleum products are satanic and have carcinogenic effect. Is this a direct attack on human DNA by Satan?
Is this what? What was the last part?
Is this a direct attack on human DNA?
Is this what's that word you're using?
Is this a direct attack on human DNA?
Is this a direct attack on the human DNA?
Naam Sayyidi.
Yeah, I don't know if it affects the DNA because that's the coding and then inside the genes, but it's a direct attack on humans. So the shaitan has a great fitna with the petroleum. So as soon as petroleum became an issue on this earth, this was a fire and combustion, and this is the source of all fighting upon this earth. and they made it to believe that it's something limited so they should fight more. And they made everything based off of petroleum, even the fabrics that are based off of petroleum, and they take away the energy of people. Polyester is petroleum, takes away the energy of people because of the satanic element, the shaitan involvement. But can we do anything? It's hard to find non-polyester mix. If we can find cotton and linen and wool and pure, then alhamdulillah. But we live in an earth now that shaitan has infiltrated everything. And you say, okay, well why teach people? Because they should know. So Shaykh, you told about everything polyester is also from shaitan, so you probably have polyester socks. Again, the same mentality of people. If you got a car and they told you the car is dangerous, does that mean you don't drive it? Or you drive it with being careful? The fact that you become educated about a subject, you have to be careful about it. And as a result understand the elements that we're using. Shaitan has a inward action, he's in makeup, he's in cosmetics, he's in these products, he's in most of the things that people are ingesting and drinking and eating and on their clothing. So you can see the immense fight that a believer has against what we call negative energy. So people whom don't come to us for energy training, you can see how they're overwhelmed. Can you imagine? Somebody says, I don't need this energy teachings. Okay, the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the TV you watch, the house you sit in, everything is mixed with shaitan, polyester, petroleum, everything. And the overwhelming negative energy that depletes you all day and night. So what is it you think that will help you? Where is your energy going to be coming from? Shaykh, I do my salah. Okay, what else? Because the salah was 5 times. But all day long you're sitting in this environment, wearing this environment, eating from this environment. So you can see then how the believer is completely overwhelmed by what shaitan has in 6 directions. From 6 directions he's put himself into everything. So then when you wear a ta'weez, when you do your muraqabah, you do your practices, you do your zikrs, you join the zikrs, all you take knowledges, you're studying and hearing and watching these realities, all of them sending an abundance of positive energy to counter these negative attacks. And to wear your ta'weezes, to wear all of these realities so that we're understanding how much we're under attack. InshaAllah, until Allah provide an ease for us and a way out from these difficulties. InshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Walaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, from your recent talks people are asking, who are the subhumans? And can you please expand when you said humanoids a bit more?
Let's go to 99% of people. Who are they? I can't give you any names. So we said 99% of people are not human. And human, it's easier to describe who are humans, not who are not human. So who are humans? We go from our great-great-grandfather Sayyidina Adam salam, wa alama isma kullaha. So it means that if we're a relationship to Bani Adam, then we have some way of reaching isma kullaha, that knowledges, characters of paradise, knowledges of paradise, actions of paradise, these should be self-evident within a person, within their claim to being Bani Adam. You have to resemble the Sayyidina Adam salam, and that's why following the messengers of Allah. So following the way of Sayyidina Muhammad with the way of good character and good manners, not these Wahhabi ideology that's basically the party of shaitan, just wrapping themselves with Islam, but to have the best of character, best of manners, sort of a beatific look that when you see these awliya and see pious people, they bring a aramesh, they bring a peace to your heart, that when they speak you feel tranquil. Other people you look at them, there's something wrong, the energy is wrong, the aggression is wrong, and you're forcing yourself to say, no maybe no, it's wrong, their energy is wrong, their ideology makes them to be incorrect and not loving into the reality of Prophet, not the Muhammadiyun dress of Sayyidina Muhammad upon them. So this dress, this light, this blessing, this is an Adamic reality, and those are the people of Bani Adam. When someone gives themselves to their bad desire, their bad dog, their bad ego, what happens? They become the shayateen. So why would they be Bani Adam? They become shaitan, they eat like shaitan. There's no Bani Adam eating these disgusting things these people eat. There's no Bani Adam that have tattooed themselves so much they look like a walking lizard. From distance you look, their colours, they look like lizards, like scales on them. There's no Bani Adam. From men to women they're doing. So where are the Bani Adam? I think you find them maybe in the tariqas that are trying to improve themselves, clean themselves, purify themselves. The same people look what they're doing, slaughtering and laughing and talking and they like a video game, blowing people up and laughing. This is from Bani Adam? No, this is Hizb shaitan. So they're gone. And imagine if you do that long enough, then you have no more resemblance to Bani Adam. And I think it was in the Lord of the Rings, Gollum, the creature that lost its humanity and started to look very vicious, very wild and very ugly, and was eating everything raw, not anymore doing anything correctly. And that was the example that they lost the innocence of their humanity and they became animalistic. So there are planets in which have been around for thousands of years, our planet is only this. And they have Adam-like creatures that have devolved, they have a huge intelligence but they have no heart. So they've devolved. Evolution or evolving is based on your spiritual growth, that you spiritually grow towards your paradise reality, and your society is based on that spiritual growth, or you devolved into your satanic society in which everything is based on external knowledge and technologies and no longer using your humanity. So they have nothing in their heart of empathy but they have big brains. So why you see these aliens with big brains? They're humanoid in their structure, they have a head, have fingers or 3, 4, 6, toes I don't know how many. Why they have the humanoid structure but a head that's very big? Because there's no heart. So everything is about technology. When these people use technology and sciences, they think that's their God. So they left the understanding. Humanity is based on the understanding of a creator and the characteristics of paradise. So try to find humans on this earth, that becomes the easier task. You can pick them out, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, are astrology signs and knowledges that are popular today have any credibility? What is Islam's reality and teaching on them?
Well, I'm sure Islam has a deep reality on it but it's not based on what these people teach. So that's again a part of the deceit. So everything they say is deceitful. Anyone want to study, then you can go back to maybe Sayyidina Ibn Arabi and traditional scholars, what they wrote about it, try to sort of immerse oneself in these realities. But it's going to require first that you make your muraqabah, understand the heart, understand your reality, understand the levels of the heart, and these are the realities in which to reach to the heavens, is to understand oneself and the reality of the transformation of ourself into a star, into the world of light. Once we've accomplished that, then later you may want to study the reality of the planets, the names of the planets, and these are then deeper sciences, but there's not too much time for that right now. Before awliya that was some of their specialties, and every day has a tajalli. There's 29 days in a month, 30, each of them based off of the huruf. So the first day is based off of alif, and 15 white days, 15 dark days, so the tajalli of the first 15 days, and then the last 14 days or 15 days is then the dark days. So the light days in which to do actions based on light, the dark days in which difficulties and more hardship comes. So their practices would be based off of the light days, dark days, and what they would do in the light days, what they would do in the dark days, but it had a whole science. And that science is pretty much not talked about, not taught about, and the time right now is probably there's not so much time for that. Right now is pretty much a time for connections and protection, how to protect oneself against the overwhelming fitna and darkness that is rolling out upon this earth, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, so Dajjal won't be able to affect the Muhammadan heart, Medina, but with the events unfolding now, would he or wars enter actual Medina Sharif?
Exactly how Prophet described that he would enter everywhere except to the boundaries of Makkah Medina. So he's already there, his people are there, his influencers are there. They have a palace on the mountain that overlooks Medina. So it's already there, it's built. They're coming in every day for concerts and things, so the Dajjal is there. So they're trying to enter into Medina, they keep saying they want to move the maqam of Prophet, so they're trying many different things. But as Prophet describes, Sayyidina Jibreel is blocking and guarding that area. So inshaAllah from whatever Prophet gave to us that these areas would be sanctified and free from the fitna of them coming in. They're going to come and claim the region for themselves, that their faith is there, that their practices were there, and that is their area. So this is already on their table. It's a matter of these are now events that are unfolding. And for us to be safe is not necessarily to move there, because if you're not worthy of that, Allah will push you out of that area. You'll feel inspired and scared and you run outside of that area. Nobody's going to be where they're not supposed to be, and everybody will be safe from what they're supposed to be. Means if you're Madani, if you're from the people of Medina, it should be in your character and you carry your reality wherever you go. So if we are Madani and the love of Sayyidina Muhammad dressing our souls, wherever we go is Medina. Because you carry from the hadith, you be with whom you love and whom you love will be with you. If Prophet with you, then of course it's Medina, because he's the city of light, he is the light. And if the heart is clean like the Kaaba, then wherever you go you are Kaaba and a Qibla, that people find their faith in your presence. Because nobody worships the Kaaba, you just direct yourself to the Kaaba. So what's holier than the stones is that which Allah built. So if what Allah built becomes clean and purified and mentions Allah within his heart, love of Prophet within his soul, he's Mecca and Madinah. And he has to be from Sham al-Sharif, means he has to be under the teachings of awliya to make sure his aqeedah is correct, his belief system is correct. And this is the aqeedah of muhabbat and love. This is the way of love and character, which becomes a great confusion in the last days, where people want to debate this and that, and their aqeedah if it has no love it counts nothing for the heavens. People think that they're going to be rigid in jurisprudence and be scornful, hateful and judgmental. None of these characters will survive these difficulties. Only Allah's rahmah and mercy, and that's based on good character, because when you have good character you're loving to people, as a result Allah loving to you. When you have bad character you're bad to people, and as a result Allah will be bad to you. So it's a karma, it's a what we put out there is what we're going to get. If we're putting out bad and tough, you're going to get bad and tough back. But that's from Allah, and that's going to be difficult to avoid punishment with that type of judgment of Allah's coming upon the servant. So when we want to put out to this universe is love, compassion and mercy, always adhering to the truth and to our path. We don't compromise our path because we said we want to be loving, and we don't want to be merciful that we lose our faith. No, we keep our faith but we have good character, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. InshaAllah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments, and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.